Alright, this is Eric from Merlin Rock Gear, and I'm going to show you how to replace a trigger wire on a Merlin number 8 cam. It would be the same for a Merlin number 10 cam. First of all, these are all of the tools you'll need. First are wire snippers, flathead screwdriver, and then this is a crimping tool. Instead of the crimping tool, most people wouldn't have this. You could also just use vice grips. They would work as well. And then I use pliers to make the job easier. You don't necessarily need them. Okay, first I'll show you how to remove the wire from your existing cam. So this little black sleeve is a clevis guard. You would first push that off with a screwdriver like that, and then with the same screwdriver you could open the clevis and pop it off. So that's how you would remove the wire from the control horn. Then you would get your cutters and snip the wire and basically unthread the wire through the trigger to completely remove it. This is a new wire, so I'm not going to cut it open and fully remove it. I'm going to reinstall it, and then we'll install the new wire on the opposite side of this cam. Alright, so on the opposite side, you can see there's no wire there. That's what it would look like if you had removed the wire. You would start with these pieces. You would have a piece of wire rope with a coupler already swaged to the wire rope or crimped to the wire rope, and then you would have 2 clevises, another brass coupler, and then 2 clevis guards. And so first we want to put the clevises onto the couplers. So you just thread them on like this, and you basically want to get the top of the coupler even with the top of the threaded portion of the clevis. Alright, now basically thread this from the bottom of the trigger. Actually, I forgot a step. First you would install a clevis guard, and you thread it up through the bottom of the trigger, up, over, back down the other side, and then you want to leave a loop of slack here. You would put the other clevis guard over the wire like that. It just sits loose, and then you put the coupler onto the end of the wire like that. Get your crimping tool, and then make sure the wire is pressed all the way to the base of the counter bore in the coupler while you crimp it. So right now I'm pushing with my one hand and holding it snug with the crimping tool, and now I'm gonna crimp it there, and I'm gonna crimp it one more time there. And I give it a little tug to make sure that's on there well. And then I can install the other clevis to the same location, which is about there. And then what you want to do is get the 2 couplers even and check if the clevises are of equal distance from the end of the coupler. In this case they're not, so I'll unscrew this one a little bit. Okay, now they're pretty even. For the clevises, there's an open side and a side where the pin is attached. I always have the side where the closed side, the side where the pin is attached on the top. I'll show you why in a minute. It makes assembly easier. So you put these at equal length, so the couplers end in the exact same place. I just grab them with my finger and then pull them against the trigger, and that's what sets the position on the trigger. And then these are even. All right, you put these under, and then the right side wire goes to the right side control horn, left side wire, left side control horn, and then you just slot the clevis over the control horn. Then I use my fingernail to push it up and put the pin in the hole. My other fingernail to press it down. And I'll do the same with this one. Push it up with my fingernail, get the pin in the hole like that, and then kind of wiggle and press to get it in place. The clevises aren't completely closed yet, which is fine, because first you want to test for wire length at this point. So I usually put the cam on its side like this and give it a slight tug, and you can tell if one side is equal to the other side. At this point, it doesn't really matter if they're totally equal, but this is a good indicator if the trigger is perpendicular to the stem. And then I close it, and you look at, well, you see if the trigger lock works. In this case, I have the cam completely closed, and I'm still, about a millimeter from being able to activate the trigger lock. And so I let it go open, and then I pop these off. And for that distance, I probably need to give these an extra couple turns open. So 1, 2, 1, 2. And I'll put them back on. I'm going to adjust the other side as well because I haven't adjusted it yet. One, two, 1, 2. So if you're replacing just one trigger wire, your other side of the cam would already be adjusted, so you wouldn't have to do that. These are both new trigger wires though. Okay, and then I would test fit again. And you can see that the pin sits at the bottom of the slot in the trigger, and I can easily activate the trigger lock now and test that it works. Once you're convinced that the trigger lock works and you're in the right place, you're done adjusting the couplers. And then basically you can see that, well, these two clevises are closed. Sometimes they just close on their own. These two are open, so I still need to close those. So they're just slightly offset one side from the other. So all you do is you just kind of twist it a little bit and it'll snap into place. You can see on this one, if I put that there, that snaps into place. And now all 4 of those are closed. And then the last step is to basically lock the clevises in place with the clevis guards. So you can just use your fingernails for this. I just use my fingernails and press the clevis guard down to the base of the clevis like that. All right, so that's finished right there. And that's it. That's how to replace a trigger wire on a Merlin number 8. Merlin number 10 would be identical. Thank you for watching.